So if you are an independent artist in 2020 and you want to know how to make money, you want to know how to do it, the game has changed tremendously as far as how to gain finances from your music career without being signed. Some people they look to try to get signed from companies. To me personally, I don't think that that's wise to do unless you already have a big buzz already built up, and then they're going to offer you the correct amount. If there is a correct amount for what you're doing. But starting out, if you get the handout starting out in someone mold and shape your own career, you better believe that they're gonna win more than you, and you're gonna end up one of those one hit wonders or those people who say so and so took advantage of me. I signed this, but they did this because they wanted to be famous. Do you want to be famous, or do you want to have a successful career to make finances and to be able to create passive income? If you want to create passive income and actually get your music heard in front of people and actually build a business with it, I'm gonna tell you a few steps. So here go first one. The first step in 2020 to starting your independent welding business, I'm sorry, your independent music business, is use your job. So you're gonna have to use your job. You're gonna have to use the source of income that you already got coming in to finance your music. And there's a few things that you might need to do if you're a writer and you perform your music. You need to get your money up to be able to get accurate studio time. You don't need no shade tree studio time. You want to find somewhere where you can go to get you that sound. Now, you can record it and uh, work on it, refresh it in a regular, home studio or whatever. But unless it's top notch sound, then don't do your last release unless it's top notch sound. Like go to a real studio, spend 50, 75, whatever it is an hour to record it on those to get your good vocals and a good mix. That is very important. Very, very important. If you want to be respected by the majors and you want people to listen to you like they do the mainstream, then you need to present your music like it's in the mainstream. So you need to pay for what you need done to make it sound like their sound, like their sound. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be like them, and you don't have to spend that type of money that they spend, but you are going to have to spend some money. Don't think that you're not. So, like I say, number one is to use your job to finance your independence. Number two is start a business with your music career. So, if you want to have a record label or you want to start a business just as an artist, do that. Me personally, I have HogOn Records and I'm also an artist, Black Phoenix. So I'm an artist, Black Phoenix, and I'm a record company. And I can be able, and once you know the business, you can be able to use one to piggyback the other, or you can use one to write off taxes from the others. Because remember, the goal is to start a business. Most companies who actually finance different um, icons, musicians, rappers, singers, that person has built up a brand. That person has built up an awareness where they say, hey, I want you to represent this or that. But they got a business and they're able to write certain things off. They're able to finance their career to another level. So it's like they couldn't get these ads, they couldn't get these promotional deals, they couldn't get these bonuses or whatnot doing these shows if they wasn't a business. So you're just not gonna be a regular person walking up to the door and say, "Hey, man, I just did the show. Give me my money." That's fine if you cut off, but if you're gonna have longevity and you want to actually do something with your music career, you're going to have to start a business. You're gonna have to start your LLC, and these things that you can do on your own. You can file for your EIN number on your own. Off of you can go to I think EIN.gov, file for your EIN. You can go to whatever city or state you're in online and file for your business license to create the business, you know what I mean? And that way you can start having a money trail and you can start actually getting established. You see what I'm saying? Number three would be get your writers and your publisher account in your name. You need to own this. You don't need to know if someone else got it or you heard someone so got it. Or, yeah, I got to curve. You need to get it. So 2020, if you're going to be an independent artist, you need to know everything about being independent. You need to have um, your business lined out, the awareness of it. You need to have your ASCAP or your BMI, your writers and publishers. Because remember, writers is good. And that's one thing I want to say about this. Having your writers is good. But having your publishers is better because that's what they get you out of. That's where the money come in, the royalties of owning the rights to the music over time as it plays and rotates. That's where you're gonna get the money at. Now, if you're a writer that sold the song, you can get a bigger chunk then. Or if you're a writer that say, "Hey, I want a percentage of this song," then you can get a percentage. But it's nothing. It's nothing compared to the publisher's rights. And honestly, just so you know, ASCAP, that's what I would sign up for if I was you. If you're a writer, musician, I like ASCAP. Um, Sign up. It's $100, I believe, to get your writers and your publishers. It may be a little bit more, but not that much now since times have changed. I haven't looked on it recently to see what the price, but I think it's $50 for both, and I think ASCAP is the same thing or close to it. So you want to get your writers and your publishers because your publishers is what's going to give you that longevity income. As once eventually once the song break, it might take a year or 2 years, but then you'll start seeing, man, where's this somebody that caught on somewhere and they playing it, and you might not be aware of it. But by you having your publishers and your writers and you doing everything right, getting your copyrights, also your copyrights, I left that off of there, but copyrights is important, and you can copyright your things in a few different ways. You can record the single. Um, and send it in. You can record the album, the EP, and send it in. You can write it and send it in. You can do individual projects or you can do individual titles. Like you can send it in and you can spend 55, $60 to copyright one song, or you can copyright a project for one price. I think they changing up some of the deals to the copyright agency, so you might want to go on copyright.gov and check that out. But copyright your music. Like if you believe in it strong enough to put it out there, then you should already own it. Because one thing that I learned about my independence in America, and especially us artists, is that you don't own it until you pay for it, until you get into the system, like until you got your copyrights or your publishings or whatever. Because that's how we can get stolen. And even though you can go to court and fight drama, but if you don't have that paper trail behind it, what you're doing, if you don't believe in it strong enough to put that extra $50, $60 in it, then you might not need to be trying to be an independent artist because you're gonna have to spend money, and you can't get caught up in thinking someone else gonna do everything for you because you think, oh man, I get this line out, so and so will take care of this. No, you learn how to take care of yourself personally. So make sure you get your publishers, your writers, and your copyrights. It's not that expensive. All of those things, getting started on a small scale, you're looking at 150, $200. So think about that. And then again, say it's a business, so you got to invest money, but you'll be able to write that back off. So number four would be singles, EPs, release only. So I think it's very wise when you're getting your exposure to drop singles. Let people get to know who you are. Drop something, make sure it's nice and clean. Like I say, make sure the work is done on it as far as the mix, the mastering, the sound quality, stuff like that. And then release it, see what kind of buzz to get, throw it out there, but go get you some people around you that's not your friends or your loved ones. Get someone that actually listens to music. That's what they do for a living. And let them give you some opinions. Get some opinions from a few different people before you release it. And if a few different musicians and producers say, hey, I like this a hit, then go with that one and see how it go. Put some money behind it. Make sure you put money behind it. And like I say, make sure that you just release those only because I think it's wise that you release um, singles first because the singles giving your audience the opportunity to get familiar with you. If you hit them with a full project at first, a lot of songs going to get overlooked. Um, it might only be one song on the whole thing that they like, and nothing wrong with that. But I think you should release those once you actually start getting the buzz. That way, you can actually have more content available and that you still own. So it doesn't even matter if you're giving it away for free, but you still want to own it because even they listen to it, you're still getting paid for the ownership. Because that's how the game go. A lot of places don't buy physical CDs no more. They're pretty much out the window. But certain small places, towns, they still listen to CDs. USBs is a big place, and streaming is like the main thing now. So you want to get yourself in a position where you can be able to help everyone. I heard an artist say one time from New York. He said, "If a person likes CDs, I got CDs for them." Person like USBs, I got them for them. Person like downloads, I got the download cards. He said, the way I feel, if you're gonna be an artist, you need to be able to have on you what people like. You need to be able to have on you demand on you personally or on a site somewhere where they can get this information needed from you to find what you're actually doing. So that's very, very important. Number five would be social media networking, paid ads, and stop spamming. So I would say you want to pay for your ads. Your ads is very important. Don't feel like, oh man, I just spent $100, $200, $300 so far on this project. I'm just gonna throw it out there, see who picks it up. That's cool. But if I was you, I would match whatever you put on it to get it together, match that same budget to promote it. And I think you'll get further with it. You'll put it before people that may be looking for someone like you or maybe want to listen to you, but they didn't necessarily find it. You know what I'm saying? So you pay for the ads to put it before people that likes different music, different rap music of your genre, and you pay for that, and it gets before those right people. And then once you get before those right people, you never know who might become a great fan. You know what I mean? You don't know how your network is going to build. So I think that it's important to pay for your ads. If it costs me personally, if it costs you $200 to finish a project before you get ready to release it, I think you should put $200 in the promotion, or at least meet it halfway. Put $100 behind it to get it going, and once you start seeing it climb, throw a little bit more money in there because you see it climb. And even though you're not going to see that money um, initially right off the bat when you're dealing with music, it takes a minute to get your royalties. It takes a minute to generate things. So unless you're doing shows or you got merch or you got some other things that they can get, which is very wise, have merch. If you have a movement, come up with you a logo to promote. I wouldn't just have a title of a song you want to promote that, but I would come up with a movement, your own logo, your own movement that you can sell because people buy into movements. So if you have a movement, people can buy into the movements versus the song. You want to have a T-shirt with the song on it. Do your thing. I know artists that they promote that single with T-shirts all the time. That's fine. But I think if you promote it with a movement, it can be bigger. You know what I mean? Because they can promote your single and the movement. You see what I'm saying? You're killing two birds in one stone. So I would say promote yourself in multiple ways. Don't just think inside of the box and feel like there's only one way to do things, but most definitely pay for it because if it's valuable like you say it is, and you want to get to the level like you say you want to get to, you're gonna have to put the money there first. You're gonna have to spend it first. So don't get it twisted in thinking that just because you the new way of things now that, oh man, I can do this and I'm just gonna blow overnight. That might happen. I'm not knocking that, but to those that's really gonna last, you're gonna have to put some money behind it and stop spamming people. Like stop tagging people in posts. Man, I can't stand that. I don't do that. I did it before, but I don't do that. The way I feel like if if I tag you, you was even involved in it personally, and I was showing shout outs, or you someone that asked me to, but other than just me tagging some random people, I don't do that. I think that's whack. Honestly, I think it's whack, man. I don't think you should do that. I think it actually just a lot of time wasting, and once you do that, you just get to see. And if you tag 100 people and only 10 people like it, you're like, dang. Well, that's probably you shouldn't be tagging a lot of people, and probably that I'll let you know that maybe you need to switch some things up. You see what I'm saying? But me personally, like I say, I will stop spamming. Don't spam nobody. Put your money where your mouth is. And the last one, number six, is keep your work in rotation. Keep it in rotation. So once you pay for it and you put it on these platforms, I would pay for my publishing on these platforms. They have like super publishing. You got TuneCore. They got the paid publishing where you can get the publishing paid for to track everything. And you have CD Baby. You have other ones that then came out now, but to me, those are two of the big ones. Actually, two that I use personally. I use both of them. I use TuneCore and CD Baby. And with TuneCore, you get all of your profits. You only get a small percentage, but you pay a small, but you get all your royalties. And CD Baby, they get a percentage of your royalties. They charge you a little less. They give you a different platform to be on, but as long as you on their, long as you connected to them, they get royalties too. So say if you drop a release and you own majority of the royalties, but they gonna get a small percentage too. So if the song blows, just say if you get a song and it blows on CD Baby, and you make $1,000, they made money too, and they gonna make money every time you make money. Now on TuneCore, once you pay that specific fee or whatever the action, you set everything up, whatever you make is what you make. And I just want to say personally, I got both. I actually just withdrew some money out of my TuneCore account. It was like it was like $100 and something that I drew out, and this was from all royalties from album that I released, singles that I released. So I think that is watching it, but you put your best foot forward. You make sure that everything sounds right, everything's professional. You drop it, you give it some time, and then you go on to the next one. But once you release it, you want to just keep it in rotation. Like I say, have it in publishing, just put it up. It's kind of like putting money in the bank. You did it now, let it go, and you'll make your money back. And the money that it has cost me to set everything up, I have already made that back, like setup fees and all of that over time. And it takes time. You know what I mean? It takes time. It takes time to break you. But most definitely, if you want to have a successful business or a career, or you want to try to really get yourself off the ground in 2020, you're going to have to think like a business. You're going to have to change some things up. And I'm inside of my welding shop right now, inside of my garage. And I got that in the background because I started a hashtag called Welding in Hip Hop. And that hashtag was pretty much basically how I got started. I used my welding to fund my hip hop, and I still do it to this day. Like I say, I'm a hip hop fanatic. I love it. I grew up in it, and also I'm a welding instructor, and I'm the owner of HogOn Welding. So I put the two together, and it's been working for me. But I had to learn the business. Am I done creating music? No, probably never. I have been on the back burner here lately. I've been writing stuff and getting things doing to make future releases, but I'm already out there. You can find me on all your social platforms. It's Black Phoenix, Feniks, Pandora, Spotify, whatever you like. Some of my releases that's really getting the buzz is Frank Lucas by Black Phoenix or Uncut by Black Phoenix. You can put both of those in. Deep Sea Diving is one of my singles that's catching a good buzz. And my latest one, my last release that I actually did is called Hoes No Hate. Hoes No Hate by Black Phoenix. So when you get a chance, just check those projects out, and you can kind of see what I'm doing now that I'm putting money behind it. But it takes time. But if you're gonna do it right. Hog on.